I will like to begin.
Hello.
I am extremely grateful for everyone to having attended the conference today. To begin off, I would like to invite USG Delegate Affairs Samkeet Shah to have a speak a few words right now. Samkeet, over to you.
Thank you, Manaksh. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so I mean, I'll keep it really short and simple. As far as the conference goes, I believe I'll be reinstating a lot of facts that the OC has already heard first, but basically I was the third person who was called by Harshit and Manaksh. And when they mentioned the numbers 125, 150, I was like, okay, let's take a step back. That's not realistic. But to be quite proud, I would like to say that we definitely did achieve and we went far beyond that particular number. And I am really, really grateful to the entire OC team, as I've mentioned quite a lot of times earlier as well. I am quite thankful to General, our USG outreach. And I would also like to thank Harshit and Manaksh both for inviting me to be a part of such a wonderful conference. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Samkeet, for the kind words. If her internet is sorted by now, then she can take over, or else I'll continue.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So next we have the Director General Manaksh Bhanushali. He's not just a fun person to be around, but he is an ocean of knowledge and experience. His guidance and hard work motivated everyone around him to strive towards perfection. His meticulous attention to details ensured that we go an extra mile to make this conference even better for each and every delegate. Director General, could we please have a few words from you?
I can assure you that none of the single things that she said is true right now. But yeah, I would like to start off by speaking just two words. I want to elaborate on two words: family and gratitude. Talking about family, my main family here today, the family which has been with me for the past 2 months, is the Park Street MUN OC. And I will name every single one of them, and everyone will have to bear with me, because these people have had to put up with every single bit of shouting that I have done on them. Every single time I have had to call them just for the meeting. And I am extremely proud of every single person of the OC. I will name every single one of them: Keisha, Kavan, Sachi, Mehnaz, Abhimit, Purva B, Purva D, Janil, our USG outreach. He's done a phenomenal job. Then there's Janvi and there's Jasleen. I am so proud of each and every single one of you. You have taught me how to compartmentalize, and you have taught me how to micromanage, and I cannot be any more of help to you. And I'm extremely glad that you have come forward and you have taught me a lot of things. Next, let's I stand here today in front of every single one of you, reminiscent of the time when Harshit randomly texted me at 2 a.m. in the night and told me that he wanted to organize a MUN, and I was on board from that very moment. And then came on board Samkeet, who has done a fabulous job as well. One thing which I have learned from Abhishek is to express gratitude to others. This conference isn't mine. This isn't Samkeet's, and neither is it Harshit's. It is my OC's conference. They have had to put up with every single thing we have thrown at them, and they have managed it gladly. I am extremely grateful of my executive board too. I thank my executive board from the bottom of my heart. I am extremely grateful to you. I still remember when I was a 17-year-old, when I started doing my MUNs, I was standing at the gates of Mukesh Patel, that timid 17-year-old who had zero experience. And today I'm almost 21 and I've had a lot of conferences under my belt. And all of that is only because each and every single person who caught my who caught my finger in the way and taught me every single thing. And I am extremely glad that most of them are present here today. Abhishek Patil, Sagar Menon, Josh Dalal, Apurva Singha, Khush Malik, Arya Singh, and the list is endless. We can sit here all night and the list would still not exhaust. I'm grateful to every single one of you. I feel totally content after today's conference. The conference has been huge success and there is no denying to that. There were some attempts made to sabotage the conference by some people who wanted to lead the change by asking our EB to back out, but our EB did not back out. I would like to thank two people, namely Saishri and Ritika, for sticking by the conference and for standing beside me with and giving me a support equivalent to that of a rock. I am thank you and I'm grateful to both of you. Conferences aren't made by people who conceive them. They are made by people who attend them and who work them. My delegates have been of a top-notch quality. Delegates from UCAB who woke up and who attended the session across time zones of the world. I am grateful to all of you from UCAB and from India. We made this international conference, and I really don't know what else to say. But one thing I can say for sure is that we will definitely look forward to host you in the next edition. And whatever the results are, every single one of you is a winner for me today. Thank you, and I hope to see you at Park Street MUN next year.
Thank you, Manaksh. Next, we have our Secretary General of the Park Street MUN, Harshit Bhavnani. He was the one at the helm of the ship, steering this conference to where it wanted to be. An inspiration to his team members, he worked harder than any one of us to make this conference an absolute success. Helpful, kind, and driven, we could not have had a better Secretary General. Harshit, could you please share your thoughts?
Thank you. I was also going to talk about gratitude, but now that we have Abhishek Patil here, which was not something that I expected, it's kind of really awkward for me to do so. So I'll talk about the whole experience that I've had throughout this conference. I always believed that a Secretary General does a lot of work, and it's not easy to be a Secretary General. Park Street MUN made me realize that the Secretary General has just one job to do, and that one job is to get the best possible team on board. And I think that's all that I've done. The rest was handled by Samkeet, Manaksh, and every other OC member that we have. I never imagined that I'd say this, but fate has been really kind to me. I've never seen such an immensely talented and such a sincere OC throughout these 4 years of my association with Model UN. Okay, there's a correction to that, except for Mumbai Man, because after flexing over here with all this, I have to go back to where I belong. Lastly, I'll be very honest over here. I did not expect this conference to do this well and be this successful, because no matter how much the efforts that we as an organizing team put in, it is up to the delegates and the executive board to define the quality of the conference. The kind of debate that our conference is had is simply unparalleled, and the entire credit for that goes to each one of you. I'd like to thank you, the delegates and the executive board, more than anyone else, for making this conference, which would probably one of my last conferences, as a very successful one. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshit. And now the moment we have all been waiting for, the awards. To start with United Nations General Assembly ESS, I would like to call the EB Apurva Sinha and Dhruv Thakkar to announce the awards.
Okay, correction, man, myth, legend, Apurva Singha.
Yes, indeed. Man, myth, legend Apurva Sinha to announce the awards.
Man, myth, legend, Apurva Singha.
Man, myth, and the legend, Apurva Singha.
Bas. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you so much. I was going to say nice things about Park Street MUN, but there goes all your chances of me saying nice things. All right. All I would like to point out towards would be the contrast between how the Secretary General and Director General decided to go for contrasting looks when it came to their hairstyle. I hope that was a conscious decision. Either way, coming back to the topic, again, I would say nice things about my committee, but even my committee would know that I'm blatantly lying. Uh, I can attribute the cause of the committee being so disrupted and so utterly problematic for me to just one individual. I believe not many of us like that particular individual who was a delegate in my committee. Neither do I. None of us liked him. Nobody in the committee also liked him. But that just brings us to explain what really happened in my committee. It started off great. We had great debate, and it ended with all of us just frustrated towards the end. And that's the entire point of simulating committees like Emergency Special Session and Security Council. When your delegates tend to remain true to their foreign policy and actually are well researched and well read and actually adhere to the foreign policy, that's when you come to realize that the in the actual UN and in an actually in an MUN, if you come out with a past draft resolution or a solution in a Security Council, then you aren't doing a good job. The true essence of an emergency special or session or a Security Council is when you don't have consensus in the committee. And I felt that was truly embodied here because not only did my delegates not have consensus, but they were extremely well researched. They fulfilled their foreign policy very well, and their content was extremely good. Yes, that resulted in a rather terrible situation for me as the chair. But I think that each of the delegates in my committee truly, took on their portfolios very well and did a very good job with their respective portfolios, except for the delegate of USSR. Nobody likes the delegate of USSR. Delegate of USSR, you can go die. All right. Um, Essentially, the point being that coming back to the topic here, Manaksh, fantastic job. As usual, kudos. Looking forward to seeing many more interesting concepts and events, not just from Park Street MUN, but also from your Park Street Journal. See, I even plugged you on. And that being said, I wouldn't take up that much time. I'm going to ask my vice president, though for all intents and purposes, he was like my co-chair, Dhruv, to take over and announce the awards. Thank you so much.
All right. I guess most of what I want to tell has been covered by Singer. But yeah, without further ado, I'll be directly heading over to the awards. I'll be starting with the verbal mentions. Now I'll be awarding the verbal mentions in no particular order. The verbal mentions goes to the delegate of Canada and to the delegate of Ukraine. Yeah. So we can have virtual claps for the particular delegates. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Now, moving on to the special mentions. Special mention, I mean, now the special mention goes to the delegate of the United States of America. All right. Now, coming to the high commendation and the best delegate, I think these delegates were like all of the delegates in our committee were pretty set apart from the normal conventional committees or normal MUNs you hold. But yeah, these particular delegates were like legit very competitive in the committee which we simulated. Now, without further ado, the high commendation goes to the delegate of the Republic of China. Uh, and as anticipated, the best delegate goes to the delegate which no one likes, the delegate of the Soviet Union.
We hate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Max.
Congratulations to all the delegates. Next, I would like to invite Jamin Shah and Siddhant Bhattacharya, the chairperson and the vice chairperson of the United Nations General Assembly, DISEC.
It's fine. He has a history of not being called with the right name since
We
years.
would, if Abhishek Patil is here, then we can have him here too.
Yes, right from Texas, so it's fine, I guess. Do we have Abhishek Patil over here?
Okay, so
I
guys,
don't know.
Abhishek Patel is not here right now. Uh, he had some other work. All right. My name is Siddhant Bhattacharya. I was the vice chairperson for UNGA DISEC. All right. It was a fantastic committee. All right. It started off a little slow, but they caught on and they had some amazing discussions and amazing debates. All right. I'm not going to speak much. All right. This was a fantastic MUN. Thank you, Samkeet, for inviting me to this MUN. All right. Special consideration. I like my rapporteur Rishi to announce the verbal mentions and special mentions at this point.
Yeah, hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Rishi, you're audible.
Yes.
You can go ahead.
So it's been a pleasure being on the executive board with Siddhant and Abhishek. Thank you, Harshit, for the opportunity. And thank you, Manaksh and Harshit, for pulling off such an amazing conference. Talking about the
Thank you.
committee, most of you all were very experienced delegates, and that was seen in the quality of debate. Hence, the competition was very cutthroat. So I'll be announcing the verbal mention right now, and they are not in any particular order. It goes to the delegate of Syria and the delegate of USA. Could have a virtual clap for both of them. Next, the special mention goes to the delegate of Saudi Arabia. Delegates, you've done very fantastic. You've had very fantastic performances. Back to Siddhant to give the last award, give the last two awards.
All right. Thank you, Rishi. He's been an incredible support the past 2 days. All right. From keeping time and verbatim at the same time. Also moderating the committee when I had technical issues. Thank you so much, Rishi. All right. The high commendation goes to the delegate of Russia. All right. Guys, please clap. All right. Delegates, the best delegate award goes to delegate of Canada. He was phenomenal in committee, the most diplomatic delegate I've seen till date. That includes myself. All right. Congratulations to all the winners. All right. This was an incredibly fun and interesting committee. Thank you.
Congratulations, delegates of DISEC. Next, we move on to UNHRC. I would like to call upon the President and the Vice President, Sesri Akondi and Ritika Singh, to take over.
Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, great. So UNHRC was a great committee, and we were discussing a very important agenda about human rights violation in Hong Kong and in the Xinjiang region. The one thing which I want to mention here is that I was quite unwell for the past 2 days, and I think Ritika has been a great support throughout the entire course of the committee. She did a great job in moderation. I'm quite proud of her. I also want to thank the Secretariat, Manaksh and Harshit, for having me out here. Coming to the awards, I think I would like Ritika to announce all the awards. She can go ahead with it.
All right. First of all, thank you so much, Saishri. You have been such a good guiding factor for me, and that has been such an inspiration. Apart from that, a lot of people to thank. Thank you so much, Manaksh, for having me on board. And I'm telling you, I'll always be there. And also
Thank you for
Harshit,
staying.
and also Harshit and Samkeet and everyone in the OC, everyone has been so kind. My fellow EB members, all of them are really just such an inspiration. And without any further ado, our committee was amazing. It was so neck to neck. It is one of the most competitive environments I've ever been in. I wish I was delegating, honestly. And without any further ado, the verbal mentions in no particular order go to the delegate of Argentina, Armenia, and the United Kingdom. Then the special mention goes to the delegate of Poland and Denmark. These two delegates have shown relentless participation and have done great throughout. And coming to the high commendation and the best delegate, truly, truly deserved. It was really close between them. And the high commendation goes to the delegate of Italy. She has been doing really great throughout, and I hope to see her in future conferences. And as expected and truly deserved, the best delegate goes to the delegate of China. Congratulations to all the delegates. You have actually exceeded my expectations. And thank you for having me again. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations to the winner, and I would like to have a small applause for Shaisri for just recovering from COVID-19.
Thank you.
Congratulations, delegates. Next, we move on to the World Health Assembly. Chair and Vice Chair of the World Health Assembly, Abhiraj Goswami and Isabella Villalobos. Could we please have you?
Right. Hi, guys. Firstly, before we announce the awards, firstly, we have a lot of people to thank. Thank you to the OC for having us. It was indeed a beautiful, like a beautiful MUN. And having chaired a couple of MUNs online, I think a lot of people who have been doing this for a while now will agree that it's a little more cumbersome to actually chair over Zoom than in real life. But then that thought ended with this particular MUN because I haven't been a part of a smoother simulation, as which was as smooth as this one, because all delegates they didn't follow the normal UNA USA or UNA UK rules or procedure. They had to adapt to UN4, which is a pretty difficult thing offline. So online, I mean, it's imaginable how difficult it might have been, but they coped with the situation. They put forward amazing content, and there's a small thing I just like to say. I mean, I met Harshit this year in Bombay itself when I had gone to chair for the very first time in that particular circuit. And then after having seen a couple of more delegates from that particular circuit, I don't know why I keep saying to people that Bombay is doing far better than most other places in the country, and people aren't noticing that. So I think with more MUNs that people do, I think people should really take note of the fact that the preparedness and the kind of content and the deliberations that people from this particular circuit put forward is phenomenal. And I think more people should take cognizance of that fact. And it's really sad that people don't, because I mean, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's India. Anyway, so other than that, with regard to the committee, we were chairing, or we had the responsibility to chair one of the most hated bodies in the United Nations at the moment. And I think with the kind of deliberation and the kind of debate that we had, I think we really put the actual World Health Organization to shame with the kind of paperwork that we've put forward and with the kind of documentation that we went ahead with, the kind of scientific, technical, and policy recommendations that we put forward. And I think if these solutions that we put forward are actually if they're put into effect, then I really think we would have beaten COVID-19 this year. And I say that in the most positive way possible. And that being said, I'd like to hand over proceedings to Isabella, my vice chair, who has been absolutely phenomenal, who had to step up at multiple times in my absence. And that being said, we'll move on to the awards as soon as she's done. We'll go with the verbal mentions first.
Thank you for your kind words, Abhiraj sir.
We'll go with the verbals first, and then we'll go on with the other awards. Isabella, over to you.
Okay, so well, I would also like to add that it was a very good committee. We saw a lot of content from the delegates, and well, we think that the awards are really going to show that. So we will begin with the verbal commendations, right?
Right. So essentially, our committee is giving away 3 verbal mentions, and they are in no particular order. Now, with regard to the committee, there have been delegates who were reluctant to speak, but when they spoke, they made a lot of sense, and they put forward a lot of scientific and technical points. And so I believe we should have given verbal mentions to each and everybody in the committee, but since we cannot, we have three verbals, and the verbal mentions in no particular order go to the delegations of Vietnam, the delegation of Morocco, and the delegation of Poland. Virtual claps for all the delegates who have been awarded. And that being said, I'll hand over proceedings once again to my vice chair to announce the top 3 awards, who are not only phenomenal delegates, but also compassionate individuals who've given direction to committee and ensured that there was participation across the board, something which the chair is supposed to do. But I think when the delegate takes over, it really speaks about the kind of experience that they have, and really speaks about the kind of like the kind of ethics that they want to put for that they want to bring forward into a model UN, which is honestly something that's dying in the Indian circuit at the moment. So Isabella, over to you once again.
Thank you very much. I couldn't have said it better. So we have 3 awards. First, we have a honorable mention for the delegation of Mexico. Congratulations. Then we have a high commendation for the delegation of France. And lastly, the best delegate award goes to the delegation of Italy. Congratulations, delegates.
Congratulations. And before we hand it over back to the OC, again, we would like to apologize for any shortcomings, any mishaps that have happened during the committee. If there is any feedback that you want to give us, if there's any feedback you want from us, we are open to that. You have our numbers, you have our emails. We'll give you our emails. You don't have our emails. You have our numbers, so you can text us anytime, and you're open to feedback at any given point of time during the day. So that being said, thank you everyone for having us.
Thank you. And congratulations to all the delegates. Next, we have UNICEF. Can I please call co-chairperson Drashti Jain and Samuel Morales to announce the awards?
Go ahead, Samuel.
Thank you very much. This committee was incredible. On behalf of myself, and I believe I speak for my co-chair, thank you for the OC for considering us to take this position. And it was incredible for me as an outsider, as a Venezuelan, to share this experience with all of you. I appreciate the great work that the staff of the conference, Director General, Secretary General, all the effort you poured into this. Thank you very much. And to all of the delegates of my committee, I wish them nothing but the best in all your future endeavors in Model United Nations. Having said that, I will pass the word to my chair to announce the verbal commendations of this committee.
Thank you, Samuel. And just before I do that, as an honorary, of course, I have to thank you so much, Harshit and Manaksh, for inviting me over for this conference. It has been one of the finer experiences I have had, one of the finer experiences I have had chairing online, especially more so because it sort of transcended borders, and which is exactly what we look at when we try to do MUNs, right? So I think not just for me, but also for all of the delegates in my committee, I'm sure it has been a very enriching experience. And of course, I would also specifically like to mention the OC member in our committee, Saji. Thank you so much for all the work that you have been doing. I did not fail to mention you because of the kind of great work that you have done in our committee. And before I move forward with the awards, to ensure that I don't get killed after later days, I would just like to mention that there's a similar conference coming in which has similar kind of organizing committee, and also in terms of say experiences and such. And we would really appreciate all of your presence at that. The name is TechFest World MUN. It's being conducted on the 7th and 8th of November. I'm serving as the Deputy Secretary General. I hope that a lot of you all have my number, so feel free to reach out to me with regards to that as well. Right. Moving on to the awards, I would be announcing the verbal mentions, and my very capable co-chair will be announcing the rest of the awards as well. To go forward with the verbal mentions, we have, in no particular order, of course, the delegate of Spain, Lithuania, Benin, and Germany. A very big congratulations to all the winners. Samuel, over to you.
Yes, congratulations indeed to all of the entire committee. Now, without further ado, we go with the awards of UNICEF. For the special mention goes to the delegation of Norway. Congratulations, Norway. The high commendation goes to the delegation of Canada. And the best delegate award goes to the delegation of Italy. Congratulations. Thank you for the experience. And stay safe.
Thank you for coming here, Samuel. We hope you had a good time. I think we lost him.
Congratulations, delegates. Last but not the least, we have the international press. I would like to call upon Josh Dalal, the head of international press, to announce the best reporter.
I will be filling in for
Yeah,
Josh
just Dalal
because
just grew a lot of hair and looks a little young.
yeah, 4 years younger exactly. So I literally took over to today. I think around 5 p.m. I had to conduct the press conferences and stuff, and so leaving all of that behind, I've had good enough time to judge them and give them feedback. So they were good, and for the second article, they have indeed used the feedback to their strengths. Wasting no time, I'd like to announce the special mentions. I have joint special mentions in no particular order. Sudarshana, Sanskruti, Sufia. For the honorable mention, I have Nishka Ramnani. Joint honorable mention to Nishka Ramnani and Riddhima. And for my best reporter, I have Arya Singh, who I am just giving out this award to for the second time of the day. Go Arya, yes. So Arya Singh is the best reporter.
Congratulations, reporters. I would now like to I would now like the Secretary General to take over to give the vote of thanks.
It's actually a special note. Is obviously I'd like to thank each one of you, and I've already done that in my speech. The reason why I did that in my speech was because I wanted to have a certain sense of positivity. Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to have a certain sense of positivity during the whole session, but we cannot neglect the fact that there are some people who wish to lead the change in the model UN circuit, and by leading the change, what they've done is they have made sure that each and every executive board of ours is heckled in some or the other way diplomatically, and our delegates are told that they shouldn't be attending the conference. We did not react to that. They've done everything to sabotage our conference, but we did not react to that until now, for the simple fact that we wanted to show them what hard work and sheer sincerity can do. And the result of that is the fact that we've had a far more successful conference. Nothing would have been possible without each one of you present in the Zoom call. And that is the reason why I have a lot of gratitude for each one of you present over here. So thank you for proving these people wrong, and for just making the world realize that all these tactics cannot cannot prevail in this world. This world is a beautiful place, and we have to be good individuals, and if we do good, then good happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshit. With this, I would like to conclude the closing ceremony. I would like to thank each and every one of you who were a part of this MUN.